Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Light's Monarch. I'm Casey, and today I just wanted to kind of say hello again. We've made it through another week. I've been honestly so drained, so exhausted, so please bear with me if it doesn't sound like I have a lot of energy. I have been working my fucking ass off. So, just been going on 2 weeks of nonstop work, no days off, and this current coming week that you're listening to this will be my third week of work straight. Not exactly super happy about it, not exactly super hyped about it neither, but such is life. I want to be able to get towards my goals of paying off things and getting towards being able to buy my plane tickets to get my ass on the way over to Montreal for Linkin Park with Rosie, and all the way down to Chicago to see not only MCR for the Long Live the Black Parade tour, oh my god, and on top of that, fucking System of a Down with Avenged Sevenfold. There were a couple other bands, Polyphia, and I believe the other one I can't fully remember, but I believe it starts with a W. All the same though, System of a Down? Hello? Like, Logan, if you're listening to this, because I know you love them, I don't know System of a Down very much. And I know that's fucking blasphemy. Are you serious? You like heavy music, you like metal music, you don't know System of a Down. What do you mean, right? Now, mind you, System of a Down, they are absolute legends. It came down to Crystal. She's the one in Chicago, my best friend. And she asked me if I wanted to go. Jumped through some hoops with a different group until her tattoo artist had some extra tickets that were now available because the people they originally bought it for could not make it. And lo and behold, she asked me. I said yes, because who would turn down seeing System of a Down? Seriously. And it's gonna be fucking insane. I honestly never thought I would ever see them. And it definitely gives me an excuse. Not that I needed one. I didn't need more of an excuse other than the fact that they are System of a Down, again, legends. But now that I have tickets to go see them, I now have a fully fledged excuse and honestly desire, as I always have had, but now full proper, reasoning behind it, to dive on in, if you will, to their stuff and really see what makes them tick and see just how much people love them, see the reason why. I know they are adored. I know they are absolute legends, as I've already said probably 5 times now. I'm excited. I am very, very excited to see them. Not so much Avenged Sevenfold, but that's only because I've seen them once before, and I seen them for their stage tour back in 2018. A long time ago. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was quite a long time ago. I remember my buddy Matthew from my high school, and he loved Avenged Sevenfold, and I never really knew them much either at the time, and it made me dive on in, and I ended up falling in love with a lot of Avenged Sevenfold stuff. Not everything, mind you, and their new album was a little hit or miss, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe people loved it. Wasn't really for me, though. And to say that, Avenged Sevenfold, they are legends in and of themselves. And I look forward to seeing them too, but the big one, obviously, System of a Down. Can anyone really top them for, iconic metal bands, aside from the other legends in the game? Honestly, they're unmatched. The energy they bring in the music that I have heard them make, crazy. So long story short, I'm fucking hyped. I'm very excited, and I can't wait to talk to everybody on this podcast about it, because holy shit, it's going to be something. It's all the way in August, mind you, August 31st, I believe, at Soldier Field in Chicago. Fuck yeah, I'm hyped, and before that I get to see MCR, a band that I personally fucking adore. I cannot wait. It's going to be a hell of a time. Music, fuck yeah. So, in saying all that, though, before I do move on to the next topic, if anyone, not just Logan, if anyone has any recommendations for System of a Down, please let me know. I want to listen to all their albums, yes, but if you have some favorite songs, something that really stands out that you adore, send it my way. I want to hear it. I want to know about it, and I want to be ready for the show, because I'm not going to go into that crowd and be a fucking poser. I'm going to go in that crowd as somebody that can at least sing along to something that is not just Chop Suey or Toxicity or even Aerials. I love those 3 songs, but I know they're super popular. And BYOB. But still, give me something that I don't know. And obviously that is a lot of their catalog, but all the same, I'm hyped, I'm ready. Please don't hesitate to share. Aside from that, something big in the metal scene that's actually happening, Sleep Token. They are gearing up for their new album, and that makes me personally very excited. Now, Sleep Token is a band that I haven't gotten to have much of a relationship of my own with, only because I haven't dived into all of their stuff. All I've heard is their mainstream album, the one that they came out, the one that everyone knows, Take Me Back to Eden. I think that their next album should be pretty interesting. It seems like they're really going hard on the fact that they really want to push some sort of divine kind of story behind this. Like, I know, granted, this is somebody that doesn't know Sleep Token very well, so if I'm rambling shit, call me out. I don't even care. But from what I see from the outside looking in, from only of hearing Take Me Back to Eden, don't even know if I just said a sentence, but hopefully that sounded proper. And I've only heard maybe 1 or 2 songs from This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Personally, I really like what I've heard, and I haven't gotten to latch myself on too much to their music, but when I have listened to Take Me Back to Eden and am in the right mood for it, it hits kind of unlike anything else. Like, I understand why they're as big and as beloved as they are. Makes complete sense. I'm glad that they're finally getting a lot more recognition just as a metal act. It's bringing more eyes upon metal music. Very, very happy. But to get back to the point, they're gearing up for their next era, their new album, and it seems very divine. And I know that from videos, mind you, and things on Twitter at least, TikTok too, when they do perform, never been to a live show of theirs yet, but when they do perform, it's kind of like a sermon. From what I know, he has his little area to stand, kind of like a pastor would at a church, right at the front of the stage, and it seems to be kind of that vibe. I don't really know exactly what it means. I don't know much context, but they are very otherworldly and kind of like a cult to some extent, but not in a bad way. Just in their kind of themes and the way they present themselves. I mean, the guy wears a mask, the Sleep Token guy. I'm probably going to get flamed for saying all of this because I sound ridiculous, like I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's because I don't. Sleep Token's someone that I want to get into. I want to like them because I do like what I've heard, and I do know quite a few people that personally love them. Like, Take Me Back to Eden is one of my old friends, not friends with them anymore, but they're like one of their favorite albums. And fucking Crystal, she adores them. She's got to see them. Lucky fucking asshole. Love ya, but you're damn lucky. Just, it'd be cool to see them. It'd be cool to really get invested, and I'm excited to finally have a chance to do so, because I didn't get to be there for the drop of the last album. I remember when it came out, and I remember people loving it, but I wasn't in the fandom. I wasn't getting the emails, I wasn't following them, but now I am. And I signed up on their website originally when it first kind of was getting teased, and now for the new website link that they posted, which you can pre-save their single on Spotify and Apple Music. Would tell you when it comes out, but I honestly don't fully know when. I'm assuming it'll be soon. And it's exciting. It's exciting to finally be a part of something that is honestly kind of like a movement. I know I was able to be there for like Bad Omens when they were kind of taken off. Same with Dayseeker. Now it's Sleep Token. Very exciting for this kind of metal music. I'm super intrigued, and I'm very, very curious to see where they're going to go with this music, what it's going to sound like, what the lyrics are going to be, and how out there it truly will be, because all eyes are on them right now. They are currently in the position of make it or break it. And mind you, I do have a little thing where I say their 4th album is kind of the make it or break it. Granted, this is only, from what I know, their third album. Or no, it is their fourth album. Okay, this is actually the make it or break it. So, backtrack a little bit, kind of deter from talking about Sleep Token just a little bit. I have a theory, and it's one that I've told people before, but when it comes to albums, when it comes to bands, by their fourth album, the fourth record that they release, that album is their make it or break it record. It's either that one's going to go very far and people are going to love it, or it's just going to completely flop. And I think for Sleep Token, it usually makes sense because by the fourth album, all eyes are on them. People love the third one, fourth one, make it or break it. Guess we'll see. I think Sleep Token has a very, very bright future. They're literally headlining some of the biggest festivals on the planet right now, so I don't see them failing. If they do, it's going to be a very, very big upset. And, I mean, at the end of the day, they might just be a memory. But I really hope they're more than that because I do believe they deserve more than that because they care. They put so much effort into their work, so much effort into their art. Not only just the lyrical side of it or the musical side of it, but like even the presentation. They go all out. They are certain to make it just about the music and the world that they're living in, very much akin to like Ghost, which they also released a new single just the other day, Satanize, from their new album that comes out April 25th. Super excited to be a part of that as well. Thank you, Rosie, for getting me into them. I'm very excited for the state of metal music, rock music, fucking shit with actual guitars, like things like that. I'm excited. It makes me excited as a music fan because music is currently just hitting on all cylinders, literally firing all cylinders. We just got Mayhem by Lady Gaga. That came out last Friday. Hell yes, Lady Gaga killed it. That album fucking goes. Like, I know I'm kind of going all over the place here, so please bear with me, but with the new release of not only Lady Gaga's Mayhem, we also got Tsunami Sea by Spiritbox, which I have heard amazing things about, have not gotten the chance to listen to it quite yet. I will, don't worry. I'm not gonna pass on that because I know how good Spiritbox is. I am a fan. I just wanted to kind of go through all their stuff again to get a refresher. Loved Eternal Blue when it came out, but again, I want to go back to their first EP and listen to songs that I haven't heard yet to then build all the way up to Tsunami Sea and just really take it in for all it is because I've heard amazing things. People in the fandoms love it. Fucking Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon praised it for finally being something that isn't just generic for that metalcore metal genre. Like, it is exciting. It fills me with hope and fills me with excitement to actually dive on in and listen to what they want to say, what they have to say, and how it's going to sound. Very exciting, because I've only heard a snippet of one single from that album so far, because I kind of restrain myself from listening to singles if I can help it. And holy fucking hell. Like, I swear because, wow, I really want to pound the whole point home. It was heavy as all hell. Like, one of the heaviest songs I've ever heard from them, let alone any real metal band in the past God knows how long. Like, it was holy shit. And mind you, a metal band that isn't, like, already black metal or death metal kind of, like, they aren't that. So for that kind of metal band, that metalcore sound to be that heavy, oh my god. Very exciting. That's all I'm going to say on it right now, though, because I haven't heard it. I can't speak towards it. Just excited to hear it. And then Lady Gaga with Mayhem, starting with the single Disease and Abracadabra alongside Die With A Smile. The first two, absolute fucking bangers. Die With A Smile makes my heart want to cry. Like, those alone were amazing. And then, I'll even read the track list here, because there's only, 14 songs, starting with Disease, Abracadabra, Garden of Eden, Perfect Celebrity, Vanish Into You, Killa, Zombie Boy, Love Drug, How Bad Do You Want Me, Don't Call Tonight, Shadow of a Man, The Beast, Blade of Grass, and Die With A Smile. Wow. This album my very, very, very first Lady Gaga album I've ever heard from start to finish, front to back. Surprised the fuck out of me. I know she's talented. I've always been aware of that. And I do know quite a few songs of hers that were singles or radio hits, if you will, from when she started all the way to now. It's just this one was the first one that I really wanted to dive into. And I know, Crystal, you love her. And for me personally, I never dived into any of her records, as I said, but this one just felt different. It felt like now was the time, and I do have to hand it to her for the speeches she said at the Grammys. Again, music is love. Fuck yes, Lady Gaga. Respect. And that is kind of why I wanted to dive into this and give it a shot. And I wasn't disappointed at all. The only thing that I could say as a detractor is that a lot of the songs were about sex, at least more than I thought would be. I didn't know she was that kind of artist. And at least it was a decent enough balance towards the more poetic stuff to the more sexual stuff. And even with some of the sexual stuff, it was kind of presented in a poetic way. She really walked a fine line in making this record, and I would have to say, not knowing any of her other music, this is really, really good. And I hope that that's the case for everyone that is a fan, because I've heard very mixed things. People are saying, oh, it's not dark pop enough, or, oh my god, it is absolute fire. I don't know which to believe, but personally, for my own ears, if that's what I'm going off of and not everybody else, which is what everyone should do, make your own opinions, please, I have to say it's worth listening, and it's worth diving into, because Disease was probably my favorite single of the three. And then throughout the album, the ones that stood out the very most, aside from the ones being really funky, because there's some funky sounding tracks on here. Let me tell you what, she goes. This is a sound that I did not expect from her, especially in the song Killa, even though it is spread throughout the entire album, more so in the first half than the later half. But the ones that stood out to me the most, that I personally felt attachment to after the first listen, would have to be, excluding singles, mind you, Vanish Into You, Love Drug, Don't Call Tonight, and Blade of Grass. Those ones were the ones that I personally loved the most that weren't already released as singles. And their whole album, very good. Lady Gaga, you killed it. You really knocked it out of the park. I don't know if I have anything else to say other than that, but if anyone wants to check it out, go for it. Don't hesitate. Don't question whether or not you should. Just fucking listen to it. And not only that, though, we have also gotten The Sickness by Disturbed. Granted, this album's already out, but it's 25 years old. 25th anniversary. How? I'm 25 years old. I'm going to be 26 next month. That blows my mind. I really don't... The concept of time, it sometimes fucks with me hard, but the fact that this album is turning 25 years old, or has turned 25, absolutely wild. And I can't wait to listen to all the demos, all of the live tracks. I'm not usually one for the live tracks, but for an album this iconic and one that I personally grew up with, yes, The Sickness, I grew up with this album. I remember it being downloaded, or at least saved in some way, on my brother's Xbox, the original Xbox, back in the day, like playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater with The Sickness, songs from it at least, playing in the background because it was saved to your Xbox's hard drive, and then some Eminem thrown in and stuff. Man, what a time to be alive. That was so much. I just feel filled with so much nostalgia. It's crazy. But that turned 25 years old. 25th anniversary edition of the album is out physically and on streaming. Hell yes, The Sickness is a classic. Disturbed at their best, honestly. Aside from that, though, we got Pray to Me by Death by Romy, and I bring this up because it is featuring Palais Royale. Not what I expected. I'll say that. I'm kind of out of words for it because it's loud, it's in your face, and it is intoxicating. I personally loved it, and I think you definitely need to be in the mood or like that kind of music, but give it a shot. Palais Royale, they're still going, still giving her. their tour is about to end, so they'll finally have a bit of a break, time to process some things that they may not have had time to, judging on Sebastian, the guitarist, on Twitter. He was talking about how his mom, how she passed, rest in peace, respect to them, and I hope that he's able to come to terms with it all and really look inside himself, because he was talking about needing to, and I can only imagine how hard of an experience that is to go through. My heart sends out to them, love them as a band, and I hope that they're able to come back after taking some time and properly digesting what happened, coming to terms, and trying to find themselves throughout all the pain. Best of luck to you guys. I know you're not listening, but still, fuck, I feel the need to say it because I love Palais Royale, and I've been a part of their following for a long time, and just want to see them happy as not only artists, but people, too. Otherwise, there's only a couple more things that came out, like The Return of the Black by Eminence. If anybody knows who they are, fuck yes, you already know. I don't even need to explain it. They are something else. I believe they are a Swedish metal band. Fucking crazy music. I adore it. Haven't gotten to dive into everything of theirs, mind you, but for what I've heard, shout out to my buddy Paul. He's the one that showed them to me on a road trip. They're good. They are very good. If you like metal music and especially want to support bands that are like not from the United States or Canada, some overseas bands, they're definitely one to check out. I wish they were coming back. Or not back, I don't know if they've ever been here, but I wish they were coming to Edmonton at the very least for their Return of the Black tour that they're going on with Landmarks. That would be so cool. I would die to see that, but it's fine. I will continue waiting. I hope eventually they tour Canada. I know Volbeat does it, and they're actually going on tour with a classic band. Classic... I make it sound like they're AC/DC or something. No, classic from like early 2000s, 3 Days Grace. Hell yes. They're coming back with a new album this year. Volbeat has a new album coming out later this year. They are co-headlining with the openers Wage War. They will be coming to Edmonton and Calgary, 2 shows that I could go see if I want to. Still on the fence a little bit. I might buy tickets for the Edmonton show and just kind of like feel it out as it comes along, but I do know Wage War would be fucking wicked to see. I looked at who they were because I'm like, I know that name. And obviously, I only have one song saved and it's Manic. But that song alone, I would go see them for that song alone and just see what else they have to offer. Because that song, anyone that hasn't heard Manic by Wage War, you have homework, go listen to it. Right after this podcast, cue it. Put it in that queue right now on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever the fuck you're listening to this on. If there's a way to add it to the queue, do it, because it is a banger. Other than that, Living Tombstone, they might be gearing up to a new album. They dropped another single, I Walk Ahead of You. Looking at the single, it also has Be Alone attached to it, so that's why I say it might be an album. There hasn't been anything announced yet, though, that I am currently aware of. But if something does come to be, I'll obviously talk about it, because Living Tombstone, again, they're a pretty good band. They are more of a YouTube act, but still can fuck with their music too. A little bit different from 3 Days Grace, Wage War, Volbeat, and Eminence, but still a valid band that has quality music. Go give them a listen to if you'd be so inclined. Other than that, though, for new releases, that's all I can really think of. I'm sure there's more that I am definitely blanking on because this year has been following last year to a T. And I mean that by just banger after banger after banger. There's been so many good songs coming out, so many good things musically, fucking tour-wise. Like, everyone's coming out of the woodworks if they've been gone for a long time, and it makes me excited. Again, Dayseeker, Bad Omens, Sleep Token, Acre's new album, which I did find out has a release date of May 2nd. We're getting that soon. And I guess the only other album that I could talk about that is coming out, has came out, is A Hometown Odyssey, The Story Continues, by Livingston. Definitely different vibe from metal music, but they are well, he is somebody that I do like. I don't know a lot of his music, but it is an album that I seen was coming out, so I pre-saved it, and it's here in my Spotify ready and waiting for me to listen to after I get through Spirit Box. So fuck yeah, new music. It's been a hell of a time, and it's just exciting to be a music fan, and I don't think that it ever is not exciting to be one. It seems like around every corner there's something new, there's something exciting, there's always time for more music. Like, this passion of mine, I can't help but go off about it, and I hope that people enjoy listening to my rambles because I'm fucking excited. And I think the biggest thing that I'm most excited for is just popping in my head right now. Not that I forgot about it, but just because it's been something that I've been waiting so long for, it's hard to believe. Black Veil Brides, they're in the studio again. I know I already said that, but they're posting more about it. And it is the very first record that they are finally making, producing, writing, everything of the sorts by themselves. No more John Feldman, no more Eric Ron, I believe that was his name, no more any producers, it's just them. This is going to be the most Black Veil record that Black Veil has ever made, and that, as a Black Veil Brides fan for life, it's been 10 years, nearing 11, I am so excited. Black Veil Brides, please give me all you got. I cannot wait to hear it. And the fact that Andy replied to somebody on Twitter, I believe it was on Twitter, might have been Facebook, all the same, even Instagram, but regardless, on socials, he replied to somebody asking, yo, with the violins and everything that is shown in this photo, because they showed some pictures caught on set of them recording, they asked, are we getting, like, Lost It All too? Andy's response gets me so damn excited, because he went on to say that, and I quote, we definitely have a song on this record that feels like what I really wanted Lost It All to be in terms of scale of the instrumentation and vocals. Not going to say the cliche of, oh, it's better, or whatever, because that's one of my all-time favorite things I've ever been involved in. But I'll just say there's something on this record that, to me, represents a musical dream come true in that style. Most of the record is just kicking ass, though. Unquote. That's what he said to the fan on socials. Makes me incredibly hyped. Lost It All is a song that I personally adore. I went through a very hard time, as I have mentioned vaguely, if not went in a little bit, to throughout my high school life and when I was that teenager. And Lost It All is the song that I had playing. I vividly remember it. I unfortunately attempted and got to the hospital. When I finally made it home from the hospital, Lost It All was the song that I remember playing, and feeling the water in the shower hit my back and soak my whole body. And I know it sounds weird, but it's just a very vivid memory of listening to that, crying in the shower after pretty much being at my lowest point at that point in time. To think that they might have a Lost It All too, not saying that's what it is, as Andy, very clear what he said, it just makes me excited, even more so than before. And the fact I was able to see Lost It All be played live, thank you, Logan, for recording that. That recording is amazing. Honestly, I'm probably going to upload that alone to YouTube or something so people can see it, because to hear it live, and the cinematography, Logan, my roommate, my buddy, that he took it, killed it. So happy. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. I apologize. Black Veil's coming back. We have more Black Veil Brides on the way. I am hoping that means that within the year, at least, please, fingers crossed for new Black Veil stuff before the end of the year. Doesn't have to be a new album. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. Just please give us a taste. I beg you. And if you need somebody to talk to, an interview, that would be insane. Andy, shout out to you. Come on to the podcast. I'll even reach out on Instagram. Let me talk to you. I want to know what's on in your brain. Would be awesome to chat. But I know that is a far-fetched reach, a big ask that might not happen. But Black Veil Brides, I'm a dedicated fan, lifelong, always will be, and I don't see that ever changing. It makes me incredibly excited to see what they've got cooking up. Aside from that, there's only one more thing I want to talk about, and that is Theory of a Deadman. I was able to see them just this past Wednesday, and they honestly killed it. Now, mind you, this was an unplugged concert that they were throwing on, with the opener, Jeff Martin, which is the singer of the Tea Party. Shout out to them. They're coming back to GP later this year. Not sure the day, but that's what he said on stage. And I just wanted to say, Theory of a Deadman, don't love their music, don't follow them very closely. But for what I know of them, I can say I like them. I am a little bit of a fan. They always used to seem more of a lesser Nickelback, to say the least. I don't really know how that comes off. I'm not shitting on them at all, though, because they know how to play their instruments. They are very talented people and seem to be pretty respectful, even though some of their songs are kind of not. Just made me excited. I wanted to share that I went, and I was able to go with my friend V. She invited me, the only reason I went in the first place, and I didn't regret it at all. I wasn't going to go otherwise, but because she asked me, I was pretty excited of like, fuck yeah, live music. Like, hell yeah. It made me excited to just think of going and then to go there and actually be impressed. Because I didn't really know what to expect, to be completely honest. But when they actually started, mind you, after Jeff Martin finished, which he impressed me. Holy shit, can that man sing and play the guitar? The energy he brought for an acoustic set, insane. It was literally him on a stool with his guitar. Every time he would hit the stage with his foot, and water that was on the stool next to him would just fucking shoot into the air because of the vibrations. It was so cool. I'm gonna kind of not ramble on too much about that, but it was so cool. And Jeff Martin, can't wait to see him in Tea Party later this year. As I mentioned, they're coming back. But for Theory of a Deadman, they impressed me because I didn't think that they could sound that good. Mind you, the singer definitely more high-pitched live than he is on record, but still, they killed it. I can't say that enough. For an acoustic set, they knocked it out of the park. They played some classics, like obviously it might be Blow My Fucking Head Off. I don't know the full names. Again, not the biggest Theory fan, but what I do know of them, they played the classics. They played Bad Girlfriend to end out the show. They played Medicate RX to the song like right before Bad Girlfriend. They played Hate My Life. They played some love song that I can't remember, but everybody that knows them would know it. They played Santa Monica, which is a fuck yeah song. I'd very much like that song. But what I'm saying here is that they can play their instruments. Their whole set was really impressive, and they made the stage look like a basement. Like, the whole concept of the show was that there was a house party going on upstairs that fucking blowed and was just terrible. So they came downstairs and just had a jam sesh together. And we, as the crowd, were a part of that. And it was just really intimate, really cool. And they had a fucking bartender on stage, okay? And brought people up to be a part of the show. It was so cool. I don't know, I've never been to an acoustic set like that before, ever. And it was something that was just really cool to be a part of. And I'm glad that I was able to. Again, not the biggest fan of them, but I can say I like them more than I did before, and that is saying something. They really impressed me, and I'm glad, thank you V, for inviting me. I'm glad I was able to see it, and it makes me excited for Tea Party later this year, and to see where Theory of a Deadman might go. I don't know if I'll really follow them too closely, but I would like to see them make an Unplugged album after hearing what they sound like unplugged. Because they still had a drum kit. They had a guy literally with a saxophone. Don't think he's a part of the band normally. But also with a keyboard and sax. And then there was obviously bassist, guitarist, and the singer. And he even played his guitar sometimes too. So it was just really impressive to see that they were that talented and not just some asshole douchebag band that they kind of have the persona of. Again, no offense, not trying to throw any shade. Just from the outside looking in, from some of their songs, some of the lyrics, it could be misconstrued as that. And to see that they're not that, they're a little bit more. Kind of similar to how I felt about Hollywood Undead when I got to see them live and really see that they're not just those assholes that they're kind of known to be. It was cool. And full respect, shout out to them. And if anyone was at that show that is listening to this podcast, let me know your thoughts because I would love to hear it. Again, all my socials are Lights Monarch. Easy to find me. Straightforward. Hit me up. In any sense, though, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to have another podcast next week, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening, and thank you for discovering the music within.